Right. So in the last session, we have discussed about high-end architecture of Guidewire when we are implementing. Uh, Now, when we want to define any kind of files in architecture from the CRUD point of view. So today we are going to discuss about the kind of defining of the kind of series of files, uh, especially when we are implementing cloud architectures here. So in this, you can see so wherein we try to implement the architecture part. So when is about the Swagger files, these Swagger files you can see over here, right? So these Swagger files will define the endpoints for themselves. Either it can be paths or operations or associated resources, etc. Next, we have schema files, which majorly defines the schema that is being used for elements and as well as collection of resources. Next, we have mapping files, wherein you can see, right? So mapping files, we are defining uh, how the information is mapped from data model entity to the element resources. So when there is any kind of information that is used for get or for the responses of the post patches, etc., all that. Next, about the updater files, which majorly defines as how the information is mapped from the element resources to the data model entity, so that the kind of information we are using for post or patches, all that. Followed by that, we will be using like ETI files. You can see it over here. ETI files define the data model entities for creating API configuration files when we are something like blue files, all that, right? So majorly to use for us to map the both the elements about the resources and as well as the collection resources to the corresponding resource close files, all that. Next, in continuation to this, we have two important files we have. One is about the collection resources.js files we have. At the same time, element related resources, right? So we have, right? So here we can see collection resources.js files we have, and as well as element resource.js files we have. So these GOSO files majorly defines as the kind of required behaviors for working with collections, which majorly includes the behaviors such as like how to retrieve the collection from the databases, etc. All these files will be defined requiring behavior for working with elements, the kind of behavior that is being included, how to initiate an element, and how to create role.yml files, majorly to define endpoint accesses. So everything will be involved in this. This is what something which normally we use when we are working on endpoint architectures, especially when we are implementing architectural perspective from cloud migration or cloud integration point of view.